Mideast and North Korea, mounting conflict in international hotspots puts the administration in the hot seat. Can Powell negotiate a cooling off period? It's Hannity and Combs then go on the record.
Put my daughter on a military plane and bring her home. She's an American and her children have to come home with her. Enough of this. Send a message to the world and to the Saudis that we are not going to kowtow to them, that these are our people.
Welcome back to a story that Dayside has taken the lead of. It's the story of Sarah Saga, a young American woman who, as we speak, is being trapped against her will with her children in Saudi Arabia. The pressure of this media attention seems to be having an impact. Seems to be, but it's not over yet. Now, fair and balanced, we asked the Saudi government to talk with us about Sarah Saga. They told us no comment. We also asked the U.S. State Department, and we were told that no one was available. We do have Terry Schultz. She is our Fox News State Department reporter. She is standing by live with us from Washington. Terry, as of right now, what is the State Department doing?
Well, Linda, you're right that the Fox News lead on this story certainly seems to have had an impact on the State Department. At this very moment at the department, they are briefing reporters on the case. And this is the first time certainly anybody's gone on the record to talk about this with the press corps in any sort of detail. But because we've been working on this story first and I have good sources on it, we do have all the information that we expect them to be imparting to the press corps right now. And I can tell you from listening to Sarah's mom that the State Department version of the story certainly differs from the one that we're hearing from her and from Sarah through her. And I think some of the biggest differences that I've heard right now, and again, let's emphasize that I don't work for the State Department. I work for Fox News, and this is just what I've been told from my sources at State. So we certainly are just presenting what we've been told. And the State Department told me this morning that they didn't prepare this paper that Sarah has apparently signed, that the Saudis prepared that paper, and that U.S. officials were present with Sarah when she signed it, but they absolutely denied that she was pressured in any way by U.S. officials to sign that paper. They didn't say whether she'd been pressured by Saudi officials, but U.S. officials present at the time certainly wouldn't have allowed that to happen. And another thing that's important for Debbie and for Sarah to hear is that the U.S. government says it does not consider this document to be legally binding. That means that they say Sarah can change her mind at any moment, and she's welcome to remain in the consulate with her children, and they will help her, continue to help her, in their words, in any way that they can. So if Sarah's thinking that she made a mistake in signing this, they say she has a way out. Just tell them that she doesn't want to keep that paper valid.
Terry, don't go away. I want to let you talk directly with Debbie Dornier, because she is thunderstruck by what you just said. She's absolutely shocked. So Debbie, go ahead.
I just talked to the consular official that was standing with her in the room when it was done, and I never heard this before.
What did the consular official tell you?
She never even told me this. She never brought it up. She was talking about how they were going to get her out.
Did she say that this was legally binding, what Sarah signed?
She didn't discuss it. She didn't discuss it.
That is bizarre, to say the very least.
Yeah, this is information I got just moments before I came on the air, Debbie, and this is certainly something that we would want, you would want to get back to Sarah, and I would presume that the official I spoke with knows what he's talking about.
If Sarah knew this, you can't imagine how good it's going to make her feel.
That she can change her mind.
She's beating herself up over the fact that she signed that paper.
Now, if I could do anything to help Sarah feel better, I'd feel like I did a very good job today.
Okay. All right, Terry, I want you to answer one more question, because there really seems to be a disagreement here about whether or not Sarah was coerced. And you're saying the State Department says that in no way was she coerced, either by the Saudis or by the State Department officials. But Debbie, I want you to tell you from your side what you heard from Sarah and what you believe.
First of all, she had 10 minutes notice. They bring in 3 foreign affairs officials from the MSA, which is their foreign ministry, 3 men. She's got present in her little room where she's staying with her 2 children. These 3 men, the 2 women who have been telling her that her real option, the only real option she has, is leaving them behind, and the lady who she doesn't even know her name from Riyadh, she's not known, and they're all saying to her, let us explain to you your problem. We don't want to force you to do anything, they say. Right. But they spoke to her for over an hour.
Okay, let's bring in some more information on this. And we have to clarify that Terry does not speak for the State Department. She's only the reporter who is giving us what she's being told by
I'm giving you
State.
a picture of what that was going on.
Right, and I did ask
And I know
those
if I was
questions.
standing in that room, I might even have buckled.
Right.
With all these people standing around me.
All right. So, Terry, we know that you are also trying to monitor this off-camera briefing. So I'm going to ask you to stand by, and you can call your sources if you need to for a moment, because we want to bring in some other people as well. Joining us now is also Sarah Saga's aunt, Kevin Ann Aragon. She's with us here on the set. Also, Michael Wilds. He is an immigration attorney with direct experience in handling cases like Debbie's. Thank you all for joining us. This has brought up so many troubling legal questions. You're wondering about American laws versus Saudi laws, and which are more binding.
Well, considering she's an American citizen, I would think our lawyers would have an answer to this. We must have some laws that cover this kind of situation.
Michael?
If you can, and I'd like to just speak for a second by pulling the lens back. The Saudi government, in my opinion, or its citizenry, have had no extensive national remorse since the 9/11 attacks. Most of the detainees at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, that came from Afghanistan were Saudi. And here we are with their expert spinmeisters taking young children from mothers, young American citizens like you and I, carrying the same passport. And our ambassadors and our elected officials are either on vacation or leaving it to the diplomats who are speaking doublespeak. It's unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen, because you can do military installations and you can barter oil deals. We have 250 American companies in Saudi Arabia, but we can't we can't get the president or the State Department to just take these two children and their mother on a plane.
Very quickly, 30 seconds, Michael. Does U.S. law, because she's inside a consulate, doesn't U.S. law supersede here?
Well, United States custody says Sarah has the children. Saudi Sharia law says the father has the children and the custodial rights. But my point is, we ought not to be debating the legality of this. This ought to be done between two stand-up countries, presumably with an allied relationship, bartered professionally. And it isn't. People are double speaking. There is not one lawyer in there. I had the privilege to speak to Sarah a few minutes before I came on the set, and that was the first time she had a representative there that had her interests at heart. This is the good cop and the bad cop routine, and the American government should be ashamed of itself for facilitating the document that they now say isn't worth its paper that it was written on.
All right, I want to give the final word to Sarah's family. Kevin Ann, Debbie, let's talk about the stakes here. When you put aside the legalities, are we talking about Sarah's life and the life of two little children? Are their lives at stake?
Yes, absolutely. There is no doubt about it.
And how many of you would like to see the State Department get more involved to set them free? You have a promise from me. We're going to stay on this story every single day.
Thank you.
Debbie, Kevin Ann, Michael, thank you very much. All right, to our audience, many of you have asked, who can I call? Who can I email to help get Sarah and her kids set free? The information is on our webpage at foxnews.com/Dayside. Make sure you check it out. Coming up next, we also have more information. Another story. Bounty hunter Dog Chapman has captured convicted rapist Andrew Luster. Luster is currently behind bars, but so is Chapman. Why is the bounty hunter also in jail? We're on this story next on Dayside.